Welcome to Bite Size Endurance Hero Interviews. Today we have an amazing guest, Nicole Kolenda. And I got to know Nicole fairly recently, but I was immediately impressed by her because not only is she an endurance athlete, but she's also a mom and to a couple of very cute little pumpkins. So Nicole, introduce yourself and in under 2 minutes, just tell us a little bit about who you are and what's important to you in life.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I am from New York. I'm a speech pathologist. So I work with children and I primarily work with kids who have a really hard time getting speech out, which is wonderful. I'm a professor, and the reason why Lisa and I gravitate towards each other is because I've always been an athlete, but I have recently gotten into long distance running and just completed my second marathon. I did the New York City Marathon.
Woo! Yes!
Which I never thought was
Congratulations.
ever possible. Thank you. I'm 42 years old now, so I did the first one when I was, I guess, 41, and it's not something I thought was possible. So I am also a runner and a mother. I have two children, an 8-year-old little girl and a 7-year-old boy, 2 dogs, a husband, my mom, a very busy, active life, which is where the dedication to the running really helps me. And that's, I guess, in a nutshell. I teach online. I do a bunch of things.
I love how you throw in the husband in there with the dogs and your mom. Love it. So what does endurance mean to you?
It's a good question. So the first time I did the marathon, I won the lottery. And really what prompted me to even join the lottery, which if you know anything about the statistics of the New York City Marathon, 50,000 runners actually do it. Only, I think the year I got it, 13%, I don't remember the exact figure of people who did it actually got it. It was like I can't even believe I felt it was serendipitous, let's just say. If you skip back to a couple of months earlier, I had been running. I've always been a recreational runner, more than I think your regular person, but not distance. I'd been running in my area and I fell pretty badly and I lost my front teeth. These are fake. So I didn't want to be scared of running. I had to go through, obviously a whole host of not fun things. And I went back to running right away. Even my daughter, who saw me when I came home and got hurt, she was very upset. It was this whole thing. So getting the marathon, winning the lottery, was a signal to me that this was something I needed to do. And I was scared of it. And I was really scared of the distance. I was scared of every distance past like 9-10 miles because that's what I knew that I could do. And what does endurance mean? You learn a lot about yourself. That the first marathon, although you're running with 50,000 people, you're alone. And I mean, you're really alone on the mountain, but you're still sort of, you're learning a lot about yourself. And what I learned about myself is I can dedicate time for me, which has been an internal struggle for me with 2 little kids at home and trying to have a career and trying to have it all, which really I feel like is a misnomer. And it's just, you just have to accept the misbalance. And then there's the balance. Like that's been my own struggle. So carving out the time for me to be able to do something that I didn't think I was capable of doing, and then doing it and just feeling proud of myself. Oh God, you can't, I always say I'd like to, if I could bottle the emotions along the way and just give it to people who maybe, are not capable of doing it or who think that they couldn't do it or whatever. It's such an amazing feeling. So the endurance part of it has just showed me that I'm strong and I'm resilient. And I take that with me every day now. That's why I'm doing it, right?
Oh, wonderful. And where have you seen it applied in your life now that you are mastering it?
So did it a second time around. the second time around this year, I had a focus. The first year it was, let's just do it and not die on the course, literally. Let's just get through it. The second year was, now I want to own it. Right? Which I didn't think that this mindset would ever come into play. So I joined the New York Roadrunners Club here in New York, and you can do the marathon, but you have to do what they call a 9+1 series, meaning you race in 9 races, you volunteer at 1, and then you're entered in the marathon. So I set out, I did these 9 races, I volunteered at a race, I got myself back into the marathon again, right? Talk about like really wanting to do this again. Did another 20-week training plan with really the idea. So the first time I did it in 4 hours and 45 minutes. 5 bridges. I didn't stop.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive time.
It was hard, but I wasn't pushing. I was actually looking at my watch thinking I don't want to go faster. Like I don't want to ever go under 10-minute miles because I just want to be able to be alive at the end of it. And the second time around, I really wanted to do 4 hours, which would have been about 9-minute miles. I think it's 11-minute miles, right? So big difference in the mind frame. I did 4:02 the second time around.
Awesome! Yes,
almost, but I pushed, and that was a whole different can of worms. But again, what did that show me? That I'm strong, and I remember mile 22 distinctly this year, where I stopped for a second to have a little bit of water, and I was like, you only got 4 more miles at this point. Just buck it up. You can do this, right? Because now it's a head game, and that really is what it's always about, isn't it? Like, isn't it just constantly in our head?
Yeah.
And we have to reframe. So that's sort of how I apply it to life, right? Like if I can run a marathon in 4 hours right now as just an average person, a full-time mom and professional, I could do a lot.
Yes, you can, absolutely. And it just it shows, not just the way that you show up to your races, but the way that you show up at home and the way you show up to your work and working with children. That is such a gift to them, not just your own children, but the children you work with, because they can see somebody and they can feel inspired, and they can see somebody that, can serve as a model for them to go and believe in themselves and do something similar when they grow up. So my last question to you, what is your mountain? So as you know, my next one is a physical one, is a Denali. What is your mountain? What's your next mountain? So
I've been thinking about this question prompt because I feel like there's the mountain of my next, goal, but I also feel like there's a proverbial mountain, and I've really been thinking about this. So I've been doing right now, I will do the marathon again. The next thing coming up is a half marathon in Brooklyn, where I really would like to do it in an hour and 50 minutes. And I will start on an official training plan on Sunday. It's a 12-week training plan. And it's a bit more intense.
Your training plans.
Yeah. It'll take me up to 60 miles a week of running.
Yeah.
So it gets to be but I want it. I want that, but it's a little bit more intense than what I've done in the past, right? So that'll start on Sunday. So I've been doing, you brought this up the other day, I've been doing heart rate training, and I've been wanting to stay under a certain heart rate. The exercise physiologist, Phil Maffetone, if you're familiar with him, he says 180 minus your age. Mm-hmm. And I've been trying to train at that. Now I was sick. I went back to running. That's slow for me. There's a whole bunch of reasons why, but I know that it works and this is all good. But I'm going to tell you, it's hard. And it has taken restraint for me to stay in this zone where my heart rate is at this level, right? So it's been, my mountain is mindful restraint.
Isn't it just when you see somebody, especially that are not, somebody who's not as fit as you, is just passing you there on the trail.
That's the worst part. It's the worst part. Oh God, yes. Yes. Because I know, And I get competitive, but no, that's been one of the hardest things. I have to just stay the course. I'm doing heart rate training right now. It's going to make me a better runner. It's going to make me healthier, blah, blah, blah. But that restraint, I feel like, then goes into how I deal with my children. Inevitably, there's a lot of emotionality in the house right now, and things, we set each other off all the time. The kids are always, screaming or what have you. And I need to be restrained, and not be so reactive, right? And in life, so I've been feeling like there's a metaphor for that, and that's almost like my mountain, my proverbial mountain right now, is just, mindful restraint and just dealing with everything and not being overreactive, right? Because that's the healthier way to do it. And I'm infinitely better for it. It's just something that needs to be sort of a muscle that needs to be exercised like every day, right? But those are my mountains.
Wait until you hit the trails on weekends with that heart rate training. I have a funny story for you. One of my trainings was on the steepest hill I could find inside of kind of an urban park in Portland. Mm-hmm. And I was tired, and it was towards the end of so I was going up really slowly. One dad with a family passed me, and then he stopped, he turned around, and he looked at me, he said, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I could put your whole family on my back.
Not only am I getting past, but I'm asking if I'm okay. As if I'm gonna kill over or die. I do so slowly.
Yes. Awesome.
So, well, Nicole, thank you so much for this wonderful time together, and I appreciate you. I appreciate your mountain. I appreciate how you're showing up in your life, and you're such an inspiration, and I look forward to staying in touch with you.
Likewise, and keep posting everything that you're doing. It's really amazing. Good luck with this journey that you're on.
Bye.
Take care.